Hello, everyone. Very good morning. It is a pleasure to welcome you all to another workshop in our virtual workshop series. I hope you've been keeping well and staying safe over the week. Before we move forward with the session, let us do a quick audio and video check. If you can hear me, see me, and the slide deck that I'm sharing with you right now, please acknowledge to the chat window on your left. I hope I'm loud and clear and the audio video is fine. Thank you so much, Shakunta. Thank you so much for that. Let's just wait for a few more minutes for rest of our attendees to join the session. And while we wait for them, my colleagues will be posting the links to our social media handles right there in the chat box. Please do follow us and keep yourself posted on upcoming events and other workshops that we plan for the region. And in case you happen to miss our previous workshop, not to worry, we'll share the recorded link with you. You can have a look at it at your own convenient time. And even today's workshop is going to be recorded end to end, and that recording will be shared with you shortly after the session. Okay, let me quickly check if you have enough number of attendees. I guess we're good to go and move forward with the session. Starting with an overview of Showtime. There are a couple of tabs towards your left. Let me point them out one by one, starting with the questions tab. If you have any questions during the session, please be sure to post them in the questions tab. This will help us answer all your questions one by one in an orderly fashion. And this also ensures that none of your questions go unanswered. And then we have the polls. We will be rolling out a few polls throughout this workshop. Please do participate in all of these polls to make this session an interactive one. And then we have the chat window. We'll all be active there. If there is any issue with audio or video, you could always let us know through the chat window. However, if there is such an issue, I would suggest that you refresh your browser because 90% of the time it tends to solve the problem. And I also suggest that you use a Chrome browser for seamless Showtime usage. And last but not the least, we have the handouts wherein we've attached a PDF with help links that is aligned towards today's session. You can download them anytime before the session ends. All right, the topic for today is rally your sales effort with the all-new Command Center feature in Zoho CRM. And this workshop is powered by Zoho CRM. I'm John Wilfred, an evangelist with Zoho. So is my colleague Anjana Mahesh, and we will be your hosts for today. On the Q&A, we have Shravani and Matish, who will be answering all your questions while your trainer, Pamela, is going to take you through the hands-on training session. And just before we start, just a few quick pointers. Please make sure that you have signed into your Zoho account if you wish to shadow our actions. And you may need admin privilege to access certain features within Zoho CRM. And do not mess with any of the existing settings. Let's not disturb them. If you wish to try something out, you can create a test instance that you can get rid of later. All right, do we have any questions? I don't see any questions. I know it's too early for questions. However, I do have a question for you, and that is going to be the first poll for today. It's a pretty straightforward question. Are you aware of Command Center? It's a brand new feature in Zoho CRM. Okay, interesting. So for those of you who know what this feature is, this session will tell you some of the interesting facts about that feature. And for those of you who have no idea about this feature, this is going to be an eye-opener for you. Thank you all so much for your active participation. Let me now quickly display the results and jump to today's agenda, which is going to be an overview of the session, followed by the hands-on by Pamela, and there will be a recap before we wrap this workshop by Anjana. Well, that's it from me. Thank you all so much for your time and patience. Without further ado, I'll welcome Pamela to take the session forward. Pamela, the virtual stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, John. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining this session today. My name is Pam, and I'm happy to be delivering this session. Today, I'm going to explain what is Command Center and how it works. By the end of this session, I'm sure you would have learned what is Command Center and how it works, and I'm sure you can design your own Command Center process in your CRM account. without any further delay, let's get started. What is Command Center? So we released this feature last year in 2020. So Command Center allows you to build your entire customer journey by connecting multiple modules. You can also design end-to-end customer journey using this Command Center feature. In simple terms, when you have an organization, definitely you will follow a business process. Am I right? When it comes to a business process, a lot of teams will be working in it, or a lot of departments. Or in other words, we need a lot of modules, correct? So the same thing can be implemented using Command Center. You can define your own business process by connecting multiple modules together in Command Center. So let's check a simple sales process which I am following in my company. And for the today's session, I have taken an example of a printing company. So you all can imagine that I have a printing company and we print cards. So this is just an example which we have taken for today's session. So first, in my company, we create leads. So when someone visits my office, I get their basic information like first name, last name, email address, phone number, and the business related information like what type of card they are looking for and how many cards needs to be printed, delivery date. I'll get the business related information and the basic information, and I'll create a lead in the leads module. So if I get 50 leads in a day, do you think that all 50 leads will immediately provide orders to me? No, right? So 45 out of 50 customers, they will ask me to follow up. They'll ask me to call back after 2 days, or they will ask me to send an email after 1 or 2 days. So I have to follow up with these leads and I have to convert the leads to contact. So in the fast moving world, we should not miss out any business opportunities, correct? So if they are asking me to give a call back after 2 days, yes, I have to follow up. So we perform certain actions, correct? It could be a task, it could be a meeting, or it could be a callback, correct? So first we create leads and then we follow up by creating some actions in Zoho CRM. And then if you think that this particular lead will go ahead and purchase your product, you will be converting the leads to contacts and accounts, correct? So when you get an individual, you will enter first name, last name, email address, and phone number. But if the lead is working in a specific company, you will have company field in Zoho CRM, wherein you can enter the company name. So you will have company field. You can enter the name of the company where the lead is working in the company field in Zoho CRM. So when you convert the lead, leads will be converted to contact, and the company information which you enter in the company field will be converted to account. So accounts are nothing but the organizations where the contacts are working. And then again, you will follow up. You will perform certain actions like you will update fields, you will call the customer, or you will send some emails, correct? So, and then you will be associating a deal to the contact. Deals are nothing but the potentials or opportunities which can be associated with the contact or account. So, based on the requirement, either you can associate it with the contact or the account. Again, in the deals module, you have stage field and you will have a lot of stages. Again, you will be moving the deal from one stage to the other stage. So, finally, if the contact is okay with your product, then you can mark the deal as closed one. Otherwise, you can mark the deal as closed lost. So this is a simple business process which I'm following in my company, and most of the companies following the same process. First, they'll create lead, and then they'll convert the lead to contacts and accounts, and then they will associate deal. And if you ask me a different business process, even after deal creation, you can create quote and then you can send it to the customer. So quotes are nothing but the quotations or estimates. So once after seeing the quote, if the contact is okay, then you can convert the quote to either sales order or invoice. So this is another business model. So based on your business requirements, you can connect different modules together using this command center feature. In other words, we are defining the end-to-end customer journey using this command center feature. So when you use command center, it provides seamless journey to the customers, and not only to the customers but for the users as well. So you can create a lot of automations in Command Center. So automatically you can move the records from one module to the other module. You can update fields, you can add tags, or you can remove tags. You can send emails. There are a lot of automations in Command Center feature. So if you had attended last two workshops, in the first workshop, we discussed about Blueprint. And in the second workshop, we discussed about Zoho CRM and its integrations, right? So in the first workshop, we discussed about Blueprint. When I explained the Blueprint feature, I said that you can define the entire business process using Blueprint, correct? But in Command Center, also, I'm mentioning that you can define your entire business process by connecting multiple modules. So, what's the difference between Command Center and the Blueprint feature? If you have a business process within a specific module, you can use Blueprint. So Blueprint works only for pick list fields and it can be implemented only within a specific module. But you can define the entire business process by connecting multiple modules together using Command Center. You can define end-to-end customer journey. So when I say end-to-end customer journey, definitely you will use a lot of modules, right? You will get leads, you will convert it to contacts and accounts, you will associate deals, and then you will send invoice, correct? So you can define the entire business model by connecting different modules together using Command Center feature. And when it comes to Command Center, we have lot of trigger actions. Example, when you create a record, we can trigger Command Center. When you edit a record or when you get a record from a web form or when you get an API call or when you get a response from your survey, if you have integrated desk and sales IQ, if you get a missed chat or if you have integrated desk and if you get a new ticket, you can trigger these actions. And even in Command Center, we have states in transition. In Blueprint also, we have state in transition, but we have a lot of trigger actions in Command Center. And in Command Center, we have instant actions, schedule actions, and a recurring action. In Blueprint, we have only instant actions. In Command Center, you can also schedule your actions, and we have recurring actions as well. So we'll be seeing all these features one by one in the upcoming slides. So these are the main differences between the Command Center feature and the Blueprint. What are all the core elements of Command Center? So if we know these core elements, easily you can create your own business process using this Command Center feature. So these are the three main elements in Command Center. The first one, states, second one, transition, and automatic actions. States are nothing but different stages in your business process. You can create different states and you can link different modules. So if you need leads and then if you need contact and deals, we need to create three different states. One for leads, another for contact, and another one state for deals. So this is how you need to create different states. And how can I connect these states together? It can be done using transition. So transition is nothing but a link to connect two different states in Command Center. And in the transition, you can define actions. So what are all the actions? You can send emails, you can update fields, you can add tags, you can remove tags, you can create records in different modules, you can trigger custom functions, webhooks, you can also create tasks, and so on. So I'll be explaining about all these actions when I show my test account. So the three main elements of Command Center are states. States are nothing but the different stages in your business process. In order to connect the states, we need a transition. So transition is nothing but a link to connect two different states. And in the transition, you can define action. And I would like to tell you one more thing about this Command Center. Even in the states, you can trigger action. Not only in transition, even in the states, you can trigger action. All right, so I'm going to show you the Command Center feature in the test account. So here I have my test account open. So let's assume that I'm in the home tab. You can click on setup. Setup is the icon at the top right corner, the gear icon at the top right corner. And here you will have process management. And below this, you will have command center. So I have already created my business process. So I have named it as sales process. And here on the right side, you will have create journey. So you will have this button, create journey, using which you can create your own business journey with this command center feature. So I'm going to click on this create journey button, and you can provide a name. If you have any description, you can enter it here in the description, and you can click proceed. So this is how the UI will look like. You need to click on this plus icon, and you need to create different states. States are nothing but the stages in your business model. Suppose first, if you need leads and then contacts and accounts and deals, you need to create 4 different states. It is very simple. You can just double click on this plus icon, and you can provide name to your state. So before we proceed with the core elements, like before we create states and transition, I'm going to give you 1 minute time. You can try it in your account. So you can try this command center feature in your account and check how it works. You can click on setup. Setup is the gear icon at the top right. And then you can click on process management. You will have command center option. Please click on command center. If you have already created one, please do not disturb that. You can create a test command center feature and check how it works. Please do not disturb the existing command center. You can click on create journey, and you can provide a name. If you have any description, you can provide it, and you can click create, which will take you to the command center interface. So now you will have the plus icon. You can double click on it, and you can create your first state. So I'm going to create it in my test account as well. So yes, let's go back to the command center feature, and I'm going to double click on this plus icon, and I'm going to create the first state. Yes, I have clicked on the plus icon, and I have entered leads. And here you need to select the module. So I'm selecting leads here. So please save it once after selecting the module. Similar to this, you can create different states. I'm creating contacts, and I'm selecting the contacts module. Now I'm going to link start and the lead state by creating a transition. So I'm going to click on this plus icon, and I'm going to enter the transition name, get requirement. So in this transition, we will be sending welcome email to the new leads, and I'll be creating a follow-up task. And here you can see the trigger on option. So from here, you can choose the trigger. So I'm going to click on choose trigger. You will have a lot of trigger actions. So do you see here? Lot of trigger actions. So the first one is receiving an API call. You can create records in Zoho CRM from any third-party applications using API, provided the third party should be compatible with Zoho CRM. So if you are receiving an API call, you can trigger this command center. When you receive a custom signal, yes, you can trigger this command center. If you create a web form, and if you get a lead or a record from a web form, yes, you can create it. So web form is nothing but a form which can be created in Zoho CRM. Once after creating a form, it will generate a code. You need to embed the code in your website so that you will get a form in your website. When visitor submits the form, or when visitors enters the information and click submit in your website, a record will be created in your CRM account. So on web form submission also, you can trigger this command center feature. Or even when you create a record manually, you can trigger this command center. Edit of a lead, yes, even if you edit a lead, you can trigger this. And approval. If you have already set an approval process, if a record is approved or rejected, then we can trigger CommandCenter. And based on a date field or date and time field, we can trigger this. And do you see here, we have a lot of options based on emails. If you have sent an outgoing email, even based on that, we can trigger this feature. And if that email is opened, if the outgoing email is opened, yes, you can trigger CommandCenter. Clicking an outgoing email, which means if you have embedded a link in the email, when the recipient clicks on the link in the email, then yes, we can trigger this action. So next we have bounce of an outgoing email not opened, an outgoing email opened but not replied by the recipient. We can trigger this CommandCenter. So we have lot of options. If you could see this one by one, we have lot of options. First, we discussed about emails, correct? Then we have telephony integration. So these are some of the triggers based on telephony integration. So if you have integrated your telephone service provider based on incoming calls, you can trigger this CommandCenter. And even based on outgoing calls left unattended, you can trigger this. Next, if you have integrated your Zoho Sales IQ account with Zoho CRM, you can trigger this feature. So using Zoho Sales IQ, you can track visitors' information. If you have a website, you can create chat option and you can embed it in your website. When visitors visits your website, they can see a chat option. So do you see here, chat with us option? So they can enter their name, email address, and they can type their message and they can initiate the chat and it will be attended by the users in Sales IQ. So this can be implemented using Zoho Sales IQ. And if you have integrated your Zoho Sales IQ account with Zoho CRM, and if a visitor initiates a chat and if it is not attended by any one of the users or any of the users in your Sales IQ, then we can trigger this CommandCenter. So miss chat. And even if you have integrated your desk, using desk, you can create support tickets. Suppose if you have your website, you can sell your products, correct? You can enter all the products that you sell in your company in your website. When visitors visits your website, they can see the products and they can purchase the product. And after some time, if they have any issues in your product, they can send an email to the support email address which is mentioned in your website, so that a ticket will be created in Zoho Desk. You can also manually create tickets in Zoho Desk. So if Desk is integrated with CRM, whenever you receive a new ticket, you can trigger this CommandCenter feature. So we have a lot of options. So if you could see here, this is based on Zoho Campaigns. Zoho Campaigns is nothing but an email marketing software using which you can send emails. So if you get an incoming email, if you get an email, or if you send an outgoing email and if it is opened by the recipient, you can trigger this CommandCenter feature. Similar to this, we have survey. Using Zoho Survey, you can send surveys to your leads and contacts and you can get survey response. If you have integrated it with CRM, you can send survey from CRM and you can see the survey response in CRM as well. So whenever you receive a survey response, you can trigger this feature. So based on different Zoho applications integrations, also you can trigger this CommandCenter, not only based on CRM. Even if you have integrated Sales IQ or Zoho Campaigns or Zoho Desk or Zoho Survey, you can trigger CommandCenter. So definitely it will be very much helpful when it comes to a real-time business scenario, right? So yes, you can select your trigger option here. I'm going to select creation of a lead. And here you will have an option to select layouts. You can select any layout or a specific layout. Now I'm going to select any layout option and you can click save. And below this, we have add condition option. If you would like to trigger this CommandCenter only for a specific set of records, you can provide the criteria here. But now I'm not going to provide any criteria. I would like to trigger this feature for all the records. So yes, I created different states and we connected two different states using a transition, and I just provided a name to the transition, and then I selected trigger on, that is I selected the trigger option. Creation of a lead is my trigger, and if you have any criteria, you can click on add condition and provide the criteria. And next we have actions. From here you can trigger the actions. You will have add actions button. You can click on it and you can see different options which we have here. So here first one is field update, using which you can update any fields in Zoho CRM. Add tags. Tags are nothing but a keyword which can be used for our own reference. Suppose if you would like to tag a specific keyword to a record, you can use tags option in Zoho CRM. So even in CommandCenter, by clicking on actions, you can see instant action. In the instant action, you have a lot of actions. First one, field update and add tags. And then we have email notifications, using which you can send emails. So I'm going to click on email notification to send welcome email. So I'm going to send welcome email to the lead. So I'm selecting the recipient here, and I need a copy to the owner's manager and the lead owner. So these are the three recipients which I have selected here. You can select your recipients from here and you can save it. Next, we have select template option. From here, I'm selecting the template, welcome email template. And before this, you need to create the template. And then you can select it from here, and then you can save and associate this email notification. Next, we have state. I'm going to click on the state and I'm going to create a call. So in the state, we have three different options: instant action, schedule action, and recurring action. So we have provided a lot of options both in trigger as well as in the states. Based on your requirements, you can utilize these options. So if you need instant action, you can click add next to the instant action option and you can define your own actions here. So again, we'll have field update, add tags, remove tags, email notification. You can also create tasks and you can also send click notifications. You can also trigger webhooks and functions. So these are the different actions which we have in instant action. Similar to this, we have schedule action. If you would like to schedule any action after 1 or 2 days, you can mention the number of days here. And also we have hours and minutes. So based on your requirements, you can select any one of these options and you can trigger the actions. And then we have recurring actions. If you would like to trigger any repeated actions, you can use recurring action option in CommandCenter. So now I just entered lead state and we connected start and lead using a transition. And here I'm sending a welcome email, correct? Now I would like to create a follow-up task. I'm clicking on instant action. So here I'm selecting task. And here I'm going to enter the task subject, which is going to be a follow-up call. And trigger date should be the same day. And I'm selecting the status of the task in progress and I'll save it here. So similar to this, you can connect different states and you can select the module, you can save it. Now you can drag and drop it. And from here, you just need to click on the required state. You have to drag and drop it to the next state and you have to create the transition. Enter the transition name, convert lead. So here I would like to convert the lead to a contact. Again, I'm selecting the trigger here. Whenever a lead is edited, provided, I need a condition here. I've selected the layout. I'm going to save it and I'm going to provide a condition. So here in the previous state, we created a follow-up task, correct? So in that task, I'll be calling the user, I'll be calling the lead, and I'll be getting the requirement. And here we have select card type. So as I'm from the printing company, so today I've taken an example of a printing company, right? So here we will be entering the printing information, printing related information like card types. So if this field is not empty, then I would like to convert the lead to contact. So it's very simple. We are creating a lead, we are sending an email, and then we are creating a follow-up task. And I'll get the requirement in the follow-up task and I'll enter it in the select card type field, and then I'll convert the lead to contact. So similar to this, based on your business requirements, you can you can create different states and you can connect the states using transition. So let's check the actual business scenario which I'm following in my company. So first we create lead and then we send the welcome email and we'll create a follow-up task. The task subject is call. So here I'll be calling the lead and then I'll get the requirement. And then here I'll be updating select card type field, which is a pick list field in my business scenario. So I'll be entering the information. If this is not empty, then the lead will be converted to contacts and account. Once after creating a contact, again, we'll create a call and then we'll update a field. So I'll show you the field when I go to my test account. So this field, I have a checkbox here, willing to purchase. So if I update this particular checkbox, then a deal will be created. Again, once after creating a deal, we'll call the customer, we'll call the contact. Again, we'll follow up and then we'll move the deal from one stage to the other stage. And then finally, if the stage is marked as closed one, we will close the deal and then we will send an email to the deal owner, deal owner's manager. So this is my business scenario. So I'm going to implement the same using CommandCenter feature. So here I have connected 4 different modules and I'm creating a lot of actions as well. So do you see here? I'm triggering a lot of actions in each and every transition as well as in different states. And then I'm moving the record from one module to the other module. And then finally, we are completing it here in deal closure. So if the deal is marked as closed one, I need an email notification and I'm sending it to my deal owner and the deal owner's manager. So I'm going to implement the same using CommandCenter. So I have already created one. So this is the actual business process which I'm following. So I've named it as sales process. First, I'm creating a lead and then I'm sending in welcome email. So trigger is creation of a lead record. So in actions, I have included email notification. So do you see here welcome email? And in this particular state, as I said, I'm creating this particular call. So if you could see this action, I have this call. So the task, this is task. In that task, I have selected subject as call. So here I'll be calling this particular lead to get the requirement. So once after getting the requirement, we will be marking the card type. We'll select any one of the card types, like whether it is invitation or coupons or entry tickets, and then the lead will be converted to contact. So in this transition, do you see here? I have defined the criteria. Select card type is not empty. So if this is not empty, then we will be converting the lead to contact and account. So do you see here? Lead will be converted to contact and account. So this is the action which I have included in this particular convert lead transition. And then the record will be converted to a contact and an account. And here in this state, I'm sending an email and I'm creating a task. So in this email, once after creating a contact, I will be sending an email template in which I have attached different card templates. So they can select their own cards. So I will attach different cards in the email and I will send sample card email. And then again, I'll create a follow-up task to check customer's requirement. And finally, if customer is willing to purchase, I will just enable a checkbox. If that checkbox is enabled, then we will create a deal. So do you see here? Willing to purchase is a checkbox. If this checkbox is selected, then we will create a deal in the deals module. So here in this trigger, in this transition, we're just enabling this particular checkbox. So on call, I'll be asking the customer, is it okay for you to purchase the product? Have you selected the card template? If customer says yes, and if they have selected the card template, then I will enable this particular checkbox. So yes, if customer is willing to purchase, then I'll create a deal. So once after creating a deal, again, I'll create a follow-up task. And again, I'll follow up and move the deal from one stage to the other stage. Finally, if the contact is okay with my product, we will mark the deal as closed one. Stage will be marked as closed one. If it is marked as closed one, then I need an email notification. This will be sent to the record owner, record owner's manager. So this is the business process I'm following. Let's check how this works in the CRM account. I'm going to open leads module to show you how this works. So the same process. So do you see here? I have implemented the same process in the command center feature by connecting multiple modules. So first, I'm going to create the first record in the leads module. So here we'll be getting the information, other information based on the business requirements. And then let's assume that this lead is from a specific company. If you have any company details, you can enter it here. If this lead is an individual, you can also leave this company field blank. You can leave it empty, and you can leave it blank, and you can save this record. So this is how first a lead will be created. So once after creating this lead, I need to send an welcome email and I need to create a follow-up task, correct? So this is the these are the actions which I have defined in the command center. One welcome email and one call should be created. So let's check in the timeline. So do you see here? First, I created the lead and the lead has entered the command center journey. And this is the name of the process with a state lead. And this is the state, this is the transition. So this is the state and this is the transition. And yes, we have created a call. So you can see it here. We have created a follow-up call as well as we have sent an welcome email. So do you see here? We have sent an welcome email as well. You can also click on this email related list and you can see the welcome email. So welcome email is sent and you can click on open activities. So here you can see the call. So this is automatically created. So this call is automatically created and automatically we have sent the welcome email. Now, so let's assume that I have called this user and I'm updating the card type here. So first you have to select the card type. So if this field is not empty, then this particular lead will be converted to contact, correct? So yes, do you see here? I have created a lead and then I sent a follow-up email. I'm sorry, I sent a welcome email. I created a follow-up task. And once after selecting the value in the card, that is select card type, the lead is converted to a contact. So do you see here? So similar to this, you can create a lead and it will be converted to a contact. I'll create one more record. So I'll create a record to show this action one more time. So do you see here? We have created a call and welcome email will also be sent. Now, let's assume that I'm editing this record and you need to select the card type. I'm selecting invitations. So once after selecting the invitation, this particular lead will be converted to contact automatically. So this is the contact which we created. And again, in the contact, I'm creating another follow-up task and I need to update a field, correct? So here, this is the contact which we created, Mike Jim. So here, another call will be created. So do you see here? Another call is created. Now you can click on timeline and you can check. So do you see here? So this particular contact is created by converting the lead. The state is convert lead and the transition is also mentioned. And this is the command center name. And in this transition, we are sending an email. I'll send sample cards and again, I'll create follow-up task. So let's assume that I'm going to call this user now. Okay. So once after calling this user, again, I'll check the user's requirement and I'll check whether they are interested to purchase my product. If yes, then I will be marking this particular field willing to purchase. So do you see here? I'll be enabling willing to purchase field and I'll save it here. So if this is saved and when you edit this record, a deal should be created in the deals module. So the next one is deal creation when you update willing to purchase checkbox. So I'm just refreshing it and do you see here? Deal is created. So this is the name of the deal which I provided in the command center. Yes, we have automatically created a deal to this particular contact. So do you see here? Now you can click on this deal And even in the deals module, I need to create a follow-up task. So do you see here? I'm creating a deal. Again, I'm creating a follow-up task, and I need to update field, which is the stage field. So here I'll be calling this user again, and I'll be moving this record from one stage to the other stage. So this is called as pipeline. This is the visual representation where you can check where the prospect is in the buying cycle. If this pipeline is in need analysis stage, then you can understand that this particular contact is evaluating your product and they need some time. And then you can move it to value proposition and then negotiation. Finally, if this deal is marked as closed one, an email should be sent to the owner and the owner's manager. Now I have marked this deal as closed one. Now let's go ahead and check the timeline. So do you see here? So I have sent deal closed one email to the owner and the owner's manager. So this is how you can define the end-to-end customer journey using Command Center feature. So yes, this is how it works. I have implemented the same business process which I'm following in my company in the Command Center feature. Now you can also create your own Command Center process using the states and transition. You don't have to implement the same in the test process. Even if you have two states like leads and then contact, yes, you can include two states and convert the leads to contact. Because if you're testing it for the first time, you can test it with two different states, one lead, and you can create another state which is contacts, and then you can link these two states using a transition. In the transition, you can include convert action and convert the lead to contact. So you can try this. So if you have any questions, you can post it in the questions box on your screen and we'll be happy to answer your questions. You can create two states, one leads and another one contact. You can link these two states using transition. In the transition, you can select the action convert. So automatically, once after creating a lead based on the criteria which you have provided, automatically the lead will be converted to contact. You can check how it works. Yes, by using this command center feature, what we achieved is we can connect different modules together in Zoho CRM. So if you're not using this feature, there will be no actual connection between different modules, correct? So when it comes to a business process, definitely you will include lot of teams in it, right? Correct? So if there is a business process, we need a lot of departments to work together. In CRM, you can rename the modules, correct? In my organization, first, if I create a lead, it will be taken care by pre-sales team. So this is the actual business model. So here in the leads module, I'll be creating records and this will be taken care by my pre-sales team. So they'll call the customer and then they will update the card type, whether they need invitation or coupon or entry ticket. If the card type is not empty, then the record will be automatically moved to the contacts and accounts module. And when it comes to contacts and accounts, these two modules will be taken care by my sales team. And then again, in the contacts module, I created a follow-up task using Command Center. So we'll call the user to check their requirements. And if the customer is willing to purchase my product, then I'll enable willing to purchase checkbox and we'll create a deal in the deals module automatically. So this deals module will be taken care by my billing team. So this is a simple business process, but it differs from one organization to another organization, correct? So if you have an organization, you will have your own process. You will rename the modules based on your business requirements, and you will make different departments to work on these modules, correct? So yes, using this command center feature, you can connect all the departments together and you can automatically move the records from one module to the other module. And both in states and transition, you can trigger actions. So this is how you can make use of command center feature and you can define the entire customer's end-to-end journey. And before this, I would like to show you one more option in this command center. You can also create reports and check how many records are in the process. So you can click on setup, process management, command center. So here you will have all the command center. If you have different business models, you can create different business process. So here I have included in sales process, I have included leads, contacts, and deals, correct? So if you have any other modules, yes, you can include it. Or if you need two different business process, yes, you can create different process as well. So here, this is the actual process, sales process, which I'm following in my company, correct? So if I have to check how many records are in this process, then you can just hover your mouse here and you can see view reports option. So do you see here? You can click on this view reports, and here you can check state-wise segregation. So you can see how many records are in contacts module, how many records are in deals module, and for how many records you have marked the deal stage as closed one, and how many records are in leads. So all these can be checked from reports. So this will be very much helpful. So if you see the state-wise segregation, if you have included multiple states in the command center feature, you can check this state-wise segregation report, and you can come to know that how many records are in different states. And next we have average time taken in each state. So you can also check the average time taken in each of these states. So you can see it here. And here we have overall reports. So this is how you can check how the record entered the state, and how it traveled, and how it exited this process. So here in the start, we created 3 records. That is, we created 3 leads, and out of 3 leads, I converted 2 leads to contacts. So do you see here in leads, I have 3 records and I converted 2 leads as contacts, and I created 1 deal and I have marked 1 deal as closed one. So this is how you can check this. So in today's session, I just created 2 leads, but earlier I created 1 lead. So that's the reason it shows total 3 leads, and I converted 2 leads. So in today's session, I converted 2 leads and I created deal for only 1 contact. So yes, I marked willing to purchase checkbox in only 1 contact, and that created 1 deal. And to that deal, I marked the stage as closed one. So this is how I check my business. So using these reports, you can also check how your business is performing, and how many records are in each state, and how much time they have spent in each states. And here you can check the overall report. So this is how you can make use of this command center feature and define your end-to-end customer journey. And did you notice one important thing in command center? Is it schedule actions? Is it recurring action? Or are you referring to the actions that can be defined in the states or transition? No, above all, there is one important thing which I like in Command Center is you can define the entire business process, or using Command Center, you can connect different modules and define entire customer journey without the need of any major coding expertise. So the reason is, without using custom function, you can connect different modules together, correct? So earlier, in order to create a record in different modules, yes, we need custom function, correct? So you would have used custom functions or custom buttons to create records in different modules. But you can use command center and create records in different modules without the need of any major coding expertise. So yes, this is how you can use command center feature and define your entire customer journey, and you can make use of it. And here in command center, we have different actions. So let me quickly show all these actions one more time. So I'm clicking on this trigger. So in this action, you will have an option to trigger both custom functions and webhooks. But when you move the records from one state to the other state, you don't need any custom function. Based on your requirements, if you would like to trigger custom function, yes, we have function option and we have webhooks. But in order to move the record from one state to the other state, that is one module to the other module. We don't need any custom function. So yes, this is the best part which I like about Command Center. I can create different modules together without the custom function, and I can define my entire business process as well. So, yes, with this, we have come to the end of this presentation. I hope you found this session helpful. You can start creating your own business process in Command Center, and anytime, any questions, you can drop an email to support@zohocrm.com. And yes, with this, I thank each one of you for your time and patience. And I'm going to hand over this session to Anjana for a quick recap. Thanks again.
Fantastic. Very good morning, everyone. Um, I'm sure you would have found this session pretty useful. I hope you guys can actually see my screen too. So before jumping into my session, I'm just going to just let you know there's a handout in there. Before you exit the session, there are a couple of documents which you can actually download. Quite useful information are available in there as well. So I'm just going to run a couple of polls as well. This is basically very generic to have an understanding, from you guys. So the second poll for today: would like to have more insights on Command Center. It's just a straightforward yes or no question. I'm just going to keep poll for some more time. I can see 100% of yes as well. That's fantastic. The last poll for today: what do you think hinders the way in making your customer journey seamless? And there's an open-end question. Think about it. Feel free to give your answer as well. Take your time. So in today's session, Pam, she actually explained us. She gave us an overview of Command Center, and she also explained the difference between Command Center versus Blueprint. Furthermore, she actually gave us a gist of core elements on states and transition as well. And we have a couple of activities as well done. But not to worry, the session is being recorded. Our team will email this to you guys so you can take your own time and leisurely try as well. So nothing pops at the moment, no problem. If you have any queries, you can also email us at support@zohocrm.com. We are available 24/5. Our team is there to answer through email as well. If you'd like to give any testimonials or talk to us, to me and John, you can reach us to evangelist@zohocorp.com. We are available anytime as well. There's one more workshop coming up on the 10th of August. So this is going to be on Zoho Forms, and this is absolutely for free as well. We have a product expert. She's going to talk on Zoho Forms as well, which the topic is on streamline your data collection with Zoho Forms. So please feel free to register invite today. Any feedback in our workshop session, please feel free to give us, because your opinion definitely matters to us. So once you exit this session, there's a form which pops up. Please make sure you answer them. That definitely helps us. So once again, on behalf of Zoho team, I take this opportunity to say thank you so much for your time, because as we see repetitive audience again and again, you've been constantly supporting us. Thank you so much. Please stay safe at home. Take care, and I hope to see you guys next week. Thank you so much.